Hello action figure fans, this is HammerTron here with a new action figure model review for you. This time I am reviewing the Joy Toy Battle for the Star, Jan Xingchen, the Cult of San Reja, or Reja, Harvey B19. This is a motorcycle. This is in 1/18 scale, and as a model action figure model kit, this is recommended for people 17 years old and older. So it comes in a windowless box and has a nice picture on the front here showing us the motorcycle. There's only a motorcycle in this box. Here is the bottom of the box. Here's one side of the box. Jan Xingchen. 3 characters, that means battle for the stars. So Jan is fight or battle. Xingchen is star. Same thing on this side. And on the top here gives us some safety information. Keep away from children. Keep this away from heat so it doesn't deform. This is a model recommended for people 17 years old and older. Here's some manufacturing information, the company's address in Beijing, China. So this came out in 2022, although I don't see a date on it. So it comes in a closed box. I prefer window boxes so I can see what I'm getting, but at least there is some plastic. It was wrapped up all in plastic. I took it off and looked immediately just to make sure everything was okay. And here we can take it out. And we find there is plastic in this packaging. So this keeps the action figure model kit here in good shape so it can be transported. So there's a plastic tray and a cover to keep everything in place. So we can remove that. That comes off. Here's an extra bag of some stuff that keeps it dry. Keep away from children. And here is the motorcycle. So it's very, very lightweight, very fragile, and has some extra pieces that we have to attach. It looks like a kickstand and some more spikes that we have to attach somewhere on the motorcycle. So in just a moment I will get this set up and review the motorcycle itself. Here is the Harvey B19 all set up. It wasn't too hard. I just added the kickstand, plugged it into the hole there, and also the spikes in the front. Plugged it into a couple of pegs. So let's see how big this motorcycle is. So it is about 6 3/4 inches long, or about 17 centimeters long. At the widest point, maybe the handlebars, looks like it is about 2.5 inches wide at the widest point, or about 6 centimeters wide. At the highest point, at the handlebars, it's about 3 3/4 inches tall, or about 9.5 centimeters tall. So it's a nicely sized little motorcycle. Now this is a model. It's actually labeled as a model, and it definitely feels like a model. It's very lightweight and it feels pretty fragile. So I did not push the kickstand all the way in. I want to be able to take it out without any trouble, so I can put it back in the package for storage or for moving around. And also the spikes in the front here, we'll have to take those off if we want to put it back in the plastic container. So I think these will come out pretty easily. I didn't push very hard on it. Yes, so it does come apart pretty easily. I think it is meant to be taken apart so we can put it back in the box for storage. But it definitely feels very lightweight and pretty fragile. So just by touching it, the handlebars, very thin plastic and very thin little brake handles here, I can just feel it being I can just feel how fragile it is. So it's very thin, stiff, or maybe even brittle. So we want to be very careful. But it certainly does look very nice. There's a lot of nice sculpted details. I especially like the painting here. Flaming skull there on that side. And also on this side. Plus a little bit of engine detail. Nicely sculpted, and a little bit of paint on it to bring out some of the details. There's some spikes on the front and very thin pieces of plastic here holding this up, and here very thin pieces of plastic here for decoration. So we want to be very, very gentle with this thing, so definitely not a toy. There's a headlight, nicely painted. And some exhaust pipes here, nice sculpted details there, and it looks like they are hollow. So a lot of nice details there. Lots of extra paint all over this to give it a slightly weathered look. And here's one of the wheels. So there's some paint on the wheels there. Now they do spin, but it is kind of a hard plastic, so it's not rubbery. Same thing here, hard plastic. And the wheels do spin. That one's pretty nice there. This one does not spin as freely, so that's a little disappointing. So I'll take this kickstand off very carefully, and it does roll around, although as we're rolling it we want to gently push it. We don't want to put any pressure down on it because that will actually break it. It just feels that fragile. So I'll put this kickstand back on. There we go. And it does turn. That's as far as it will turn. So that's pretty nice. And it will hold a figure. And here is Jack. I already reviewed Jack. Now I put him in this pose ahead of time because this is so fragile and lightweight. I didn't want to mess around with it in front of the camera. I didn't want to accidentally break it, so I pre-posed the figure. And I think we can put the hands on the handlebar. I don't know about these. These are maybe the weapon gripping hands. So there might be some more open hands that would work better on these handlebars. So I don't want to put it on the handlebars because it's so thin and fragile. So I'll put them here. And the best way I can do it is I can get one foot down here on that pedal there. That'll work. But this other leg sticks out a bit more and I can't really get it in. It's about as good as I can do it. So that's what it looks like on the motorcycle. Not too bad, not quite perfect, Now if we're really patient and very gentle, we might be able to make it look better, make it look like he's actually riding the motorcycle. But it looks like he's ready to ride the motorcycle in the wasteland of a post-apocalyptic future. So, pretty cool looking. And for comparison, I will use the Jonesy action figure from Jazzwares. This is the 4-inch scale. I already have this one pre-posed. And I don't want to risk putting the hands on the handlebar. I think I could do that, but we have to be very careful and very patient to make it fit. But it'll work, and then if we want to remove it, then we have to be especially careful removing it. Now the Jonesy is made of a stronger plastic, so he can stand up to the stresses, but I don't think the motorcycle could stand up to it. But it still looks pretty nice there. So Jonesy fits in pretty well here, so I like this. So let's get these action figures straightened out. So here is Jonesy next to the Harvey B19. Looks pretty good. And then I'll get Jack straightened out. So this is also a model, so I want to be very gentle with this figure. So far everything is okay. And there he is next to his motorcycle. So it's a pretty nicely sized motorcycle. It looks pretty cool. It's just very fragile. So let's compare this to another motorcycle. This one came with an Adventure Force set that I reviewed recently. So it's a dirt bike made of a, well, much more plastic looking, has some stickers on it, and it's stronger. So this one I have no problems trying to make the wheels spin quickly. I'm not too worried about putting pressure on this because it can stand up to it. What I like about this one is if I'm careless or a little bit rough, the motorcycle will stand up to it. So I'm not worried about this one. This one I am more worried about because I'm pretty sure it'll break if I'm not careful. So if I'm careless, it'll break. So personally, I think I like something a little more toy-like, made of a stronger plastic, maybe slightly more pliable, even if it doesn't look quite as nice. I think I'd rather have something that that can stand up to any carelessness I might have. But other than that, you know, it's a really nice looking motorcycle, and it's good for displays or dioramas. Certainly not a toy, not something that we would want kids to get their hands on. So this is the Harvey B19 from the Cult of San Reja as part of the Battle for the Stars line by Joy Toy. So very nice looking, but very fragile. So depending on what you want to do with it, a fragile model for display might be good, but if you want to play with it, this is definitely not a toy, and you had better be very careful, otherwise it'll break. So thank you for watching my review. Remember to like the video, leave a comment, let me know what you think of this motorcycle, and subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with my future reviews. I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.